Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of high school football here on Eagle Pass Sports Central. Thank you for joining us here on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, and also on KINL 92.7. My name is Ruben Valadez, and I'm coming to you live tonight from Kozo Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium here at the SAC in Eagle Pass, where it's homecoming. Alumni from Eagle Pass High School have converged here at the SAC to see the Eagles take on the LBJ Wolves. Both of these teams come in at 5-2, and both of them are looking for their first win in district play, 0-2 in district. The Eagles have taken losses to start off district play to the Alexander Bulldogs, and last week down in Laredo took a loss to the United Longhorns. They're looking to get healthy here against the LBJ Wolves. Every game from now on has playoff implications for the Eagles. Not to make sure to get a good start. It's kind of the problem that's been plaguing the Eagles for the past couple of weeks. A little bit of a slow start. They do manage to catch up in the second half, but they need to make sure that that defense and that offensive unit are productive in the first half. I want to thank the sponsors of Universal Media Connections, Valde Record, his law firm, Allstate Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilla Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear, LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Inc., Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Tabanay Insurance, Chapala Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Melo State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, Ruiz and Associates, Maverick AC Supply, Rudy's Optical, Yopos, and United Medical Center. Here is the kickoff on its way from Lázaro Frausto. One man deep to receive for LBJ. Again, a battle of 5-2 teams, both 0-2 in district. That ball will be in the end zone for a touchback. Sitting back there was number 5, Ricky Sanchez, junior defensive back for the LBJ Wolves. LBJ, a team that's used to being towards the bottom of this district. However, they have done a great job this year getting healthy in pre-district play. And, of course, now, as we mentioned, getting ready to look for their first victory in district play here against the Eagles. Guillermo Trejo is the quarterback. He'll start in the shotgun formation from the 25-yard line. And the handoff, which will be strung out over on the left side. Ricky Sanchez with the carry. A loss of 2 yards. And it's now a 2nd and 12 from the 23. For LBJ, I want to say hello to my broadcasting partner, usually here, Morris Lipson Jr. is out this weekend, but we're going to try to hold down the fort and not burn the building down while he's gone. Here's a catch at the 27-yard line by A.B. Huerta, fumbled, juggled in and out of his hands, but he was able to come down with it. The Eagle defense was on him, though, and they're going to mark this ball at the 28-yard line, a gain of 5 yards, and it's going to be a 3rd and 7 now. Jay Trejo from the pistol formation now. He's going to put Sanchez in motion. Pass. Here comes the defensive pressure. And the pass is incomplete at the feet of the intended receiver, A.B. Huerta. And the Eagle defense has held serve here on the first drive of the game for the LBJ Wolves and has turned it over to their offense. Great job there by the Eagle defensive bearing down. And now the Wolves will punt off with 10:58 left here in the first quarter. Still scoreless between the Wolves and the Eagles. 2 men back to receive for the Eagles. That's Pepe Hernandez and Sebastian Diaz back here at about their 35. High snap. The punter is able to bring it down. That's Guillermo Trejo, the quarterback. Punt is lost up in the air, and it's going to squibble by Sebastian Diaz, who was there, and take a good LBJ roll all the way down to the 12-yard line. It looked like the return men lost it for a little bit while it was up in the air, And by the time they realized, the ball had bounced by their side and taken an LBJ bounce toward that end zone. And so the Eagles now will start at the 12-yard line on their first offensive drive of the ball game. Andres Garcia in the shotgun, puts a man in motion, looks to this side. The pass is caught at the 10 by Pep Hernandez, heads upfield. He's at the 20 and is brought down eventually close to the 25 by Martin Flores. It's a good enough for a first down to the 24. A gain of 12 on that catch and carry. And the Eagles are going to rely a lot on that. It's a pass, but it's also a type of running game because it's close to the line of scrimmage. There's a fumble at the 30. The ball is still on the ground. The Eagles are trying to fall on top of it. They will not. LBJ recovers on a fumble. The carry there by Emilio Mendoza. And it is recovered here at the 26-yard line. 51 for LBJ with the recovery. But the Wolves now are deep in Eagle territory at the 28-yard line after the first turnover of the ball game with 10:17 left in the first quarter. Here is a handoff to Sanchez who spins around. You'll get 2 yards to the 26. Be a 2nd and 8 from there. We want to thank all of you who are joining us on Eagle Pass Sports Central. We know that there's folks on homecoming weekend listening and watching in from all over the state. Up in the Dallas area, over in Corpus Christi and College Station, San Antonio, Austin, all of those places listening to Eagle Pass Sports Center. A flag on the play. They're going to play the call. They're going to call the play dead. It's a false start against LBJ. 9:43 left in the first quarter. 7 o'clock kickoff. As the stands are filling, and we've got the homecoming candidates here tonight. Lovely young men and women walked past me as I was headed into the stadium, taking their seats. Ball now is at the 32-yard line after the penalty. And it's going to be a 2nd and about 14 or so from there. Ball on the near hash mark. Trejo in the shotgun, takes the snap, quick pass, caught at the 30, and then evading a bunch of tackles is A.B. Huerta, who gets that to the 26. They'll get the penalty yardage back, and now it'll put them in a 3rd and 7. The Eagle defense looking to hold after a fumble recovery by the Wolves at about the 28-yard line or so. And on a 3rd and long, Trejo is in the backfield by himself, drops back, looking to step up in the pocket. He's going to be caught from behind, and the ball is loose. It's picked up, and the Eagles are in business. So they're going to call him down at the 29, at the 34. It was picked up, that fumble by Danny Martinez, and he was on his way. They're going to call him down right there, I believe, at the 28. And the ball now on a 4th down is at the 33-yard line for the Wolves. And the offense is on the field on a 4th and 15. Trejo looks left, lets the ball go. It is incomplete over the outstretched hands of the intended receiver, Jorge Jaime. The Eagle defense again has done its job and has held. The ball goes over on downs. With 8:16 left in the first quarter, the Eagles will get the ball back for the 2nd time in this game at the 33-yard line. 8:16 left. Andres Garcia out in the shotgun, ball on the near hash mark. 2 receivers to either side of the formation. And Kadrian Rodriguez is now in the backfield with Andy Garcia. After that fumble by Emilio Mendoza on the first drive of the game. Quick pass to the far side. Sebastian Diaz comes up with it. He's at the 40, jukes him at the 45 at midfield, still streaking down the far sideline into LBJ territory, down and finally taken out of bounds at the 36. We talked about it at the top of the broadcast. This is the kind of offense the Eagles have been running. Quick passes to the sides and then let those receivers do something with space and speed. 1st and 10 from the 36 for the Eagles. Kadrian Rodriguez with the handoff. Tries to bounce left. He'll get a yard to the 35. Not much more there. 2nd and 9 now coming up for the Eagles, trying to settle that offense down after turning the ball over on the first drive. But the Eagle defense has come up big twice now in this game, particularly so after that fumble was deep in Eagle territory. Garcia in the shotgun, 2 receivers to either side, and Kadrian Rodriguez on his right, ball at the far hash mark. There's a snap. Garcia rolls right, looks downfield. He's got at the 29, Pepe Hernandez, and he'll be pulled out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And that's good enough for an Eagle first down. The Eagles will get a fresh set of downs from there. The Eagles wearing their orange, all orange uniforms today on homecoming night. 7:13 left in the first quarter. Garcia with a tight formation over to his left, looks right. He's got Hernandez open. Pepe Hernandez jukes his man at the 10, at the 5, and in for the touchdown. Pepe Hernandez with a 25-yard catch and run for the touchdown with 6:58 left. Boy, they were giving Pepe Hernandez just a ton of cushion over on the right side of that formation. And by the time he caught it and headed upfield, the Wolf defensive back was nowhere near him. And all Pepe needed after that was a little juke move, and he was off to the races into the end zone. Armando Leckler will be the holder on the point after attempt. Lázaro Frausto on to try that. Kick is on its way, and it is good. Didn't see a call from the officials. They're not putting the point on the board, so I'm guessing that was no good. And so the score will be 6-0 in favor of the Eagles with 6:58 left here in the first quarter. We're going to use this timeout to take our own timeout. Back with you now. Here's a kickoff from Frausto. It will be a live ball at the 7-yard line. Sanchez trying to pick it up from there, and now he's trying to turn the corner. Then he loses the football at about the 11-yard line. We'll see who fell on top of it. Looks like the Wolves have control. By the way, that point after was good after the touchdown. So 7-0 is the score, as you can see there on your screen. The Wolves are going to have possession here, but they will have it deep in their own territory at the 12-yard line. Ball on the far hash mark. Trejo in the shotgun, 2 receivers here down to the near side, and 1 to the weak side of the field over to the far side. Trejo's going to put Sanchez in motion. Movement on the line, pre-snap. It's going to cost the Wolves 5 yards. They'll head towards the southern end zone here. This ball should end up at the 7-yard line after this penalty. That's exactly where it's going. And it'll be a 1st and 15 from there. Thank you for joining us on Facebook and on YouTube and on KINL 92.7. Happy to be working with the folks at KINL and Universal Media Connections this year here at Eagle Pass Sports Central. Here's Sanchez in motion and another false start against the Wolves. That offensive unit and that offensive line seems a little unnerved to start the game. It'll go half the distance. They're going to put that at the 3, where it'll be 1st and 10. We're 1st and 17, rather. Trejo in the shotgun now with Sanchez on his left. Quick pass, incomplete. Intended for Edwin Bocanegra. Great job by Danny Martinez, who was right on the spot. And he arrived at the football. He arrived at the receiver right when the football did. And that contact forced the ball out of the hands of the intended receiver. 6:44 left in the first quarter. Ball is at the 3-yard line on a 2nd and 17 for LBJ. Trejo about 2 yards deep in his own end zone. The play clock's running out. It's at 2. I don't know if they're going to get this snap out off, and the head coach for LBJ is going to call a timeout. Play clock was winding down, and the Wolves used their first timeout of the half with 6:43 left. 7-0 is the Eagle lead. You can hear the mighty Eagle band off in the distance. We mentioned it at the prediction show, but we want to wish the mighty Eagle band and the Thundering Maverick band the best of luck tomorrow at area marching competition. But Ecstasy, when I'm being told, goes on the 28th, the week after, there at Judson. The mighty Eagle band will be up at Gupton Stadium in Cedar Park tomorrow. And we wish them all the luck in marching competition. And we want to welcome in all the alumni from Eagle Pass High School that are listening in on homecoming weekend. They're at the homecoming parade on Wednesday. 6:43 left here in the first quarter, and the Wolves have their backs up against their own end zone. 2nd and 17 from the 3-yard line. Trejo's in the backfield all by himself, about 2 yards deep in the end zone. Looking right and looking long. That pass is overthrown and incomplete. Out of bounds on the far side. Good job again by Danny Martinez of being there step by step with the receiver, Jose Guardiola. It's going to be a 3rd and 17 now. From the 3-yard line. This is good field position for the Eagles. Even if LBJ can't get many yards, they're going to have to punt from deep inside their own territory, and the Eagles should get good field position out of this. Trejo moves Guardiola in motion, and I think there was movement up front again on behalf of LBJ. There's a false start. Half the distance will put him at the 1.5-yard line. It'll be a 3rd and 18 or so. .638 left in the first quarter. A first quarter that started moving quickly at the start of this ball game, and now in fits and starts as LBJ has the ball for the second time. Here's Trejo again with a long pass. It is overthrown and incomplete. He did have a man flash open there. That was Edwin Bocanegra. Danny Martinez, who was the cornerback on the play, actually overran Bocanegra. He was about 3 yards in front of the intended receiver. And so on the incompletion, it'll be a 4th and 18 from the 1.5-yard line. Punt is on its way, a line drive punt. It is picked up by Pep Hernandez at about the 47, comes to this side, looking for the sideline, still on his feet, didn't go out of bounds. There is a flag. There are two flags on the play back here at the 43-yard line, and that's usually, since that's the part of the field where Pepe Hernandez turned the corner, that usually indicates either a hold or a block in the back, and it'll come back probably for the Eagles. Hernandez did go into the end zone, so if this is a penalty against the Wolves, then the touchdown will stand. But again, that's usually in the area of a hold or a block in the back. We'll wait to see what our referee, Kenneth Brown, tells us. It's even worse than we thought. It's a blindside block, which will cost the Eagles 15 yards from the spot of the foul. And so that's going to put them back in their own territory once they step this off. Ball's going to be at the Eagle 42 with 6:17 left here in the first quarter. It's a drive that didn't take much game clock off, but in actual time did take a while there for the Wolves. So the Eagles from the 42 with a 7-0 lead. 6:17 left in the first quarter. Garcia from the shotgun will take the snap, looks left, pass caught by Sebastian Velasquez, and Velasquez takes advantage of his blockers just the way it was drawn up. Velasquez was in that slot position over on the left. That's good enough for an Eagle first down now in Wolf territory at the 48. Again, wide receivers all bunched up on the left of the formation. Here comes Willie Frausto, I think, in motion. He gets the handoff, comes to this side, puts a stiff arm on. He's at the 35 and is finally pushed out of bounds at the 32, but it's good enough for another Eagle first down. The chains will move. Head coach or offensive coordinator Javier Cardenas talked to us about this at the prediction show. They've got to get tempo and they've got to keep their heads about them on offense. It's exactly what they're doing early on in this game. Garcia dropping back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Steps up in the pocket. Caught by Sebastian Diaz at the 24-yard line. And he will be brought down at the 23. Luis Rios for the Wolves in on the tackle. It's a second and about a yard left from there. Cadrian Rodriguez is in the backfield with Andy Garcia, two across the formation, on either side rather. Rodriguez turns a corner at the 20, at the 15 before he's finally pushed out of bounds. The Eagles are going to get a first down inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Again, this Eagle offensive unit playing with plenty of tempo and really executing plays the way maybe we hadn't seen over the past couple of weeks. Garcia's looking sharp today. 4:57 left in the first quarter. The Eagles looking to score again. Garcia drops back, and that's nearly picked off at the 9-yard line. Eric Garcia, the senior defensive back, stepped in right on that in the middle on a comeback route over on the left. And as they say, that's why they play cornerback. If they had better hands, they'd play wide receiver. So he dropped that ball, and the Eagles have new life. 2nd and 1 now. A 2nd and 10, rather, from the 14-yard line. Garcia evades a bunch of tacklers, looks left. Now he's going to cut up field himself. Stiff arms a man at the 2, and will go into the end zone for the touchdown on the quarterback keeper, Andres Garcia, with the 15-yard scamper. Looked right. The play broke down, came back left, evaded a couple of tacklers, put a stiff arm on a man at about the 5-yard line, and then headed towards the far corner. And the Eagles have 6 more points, 13-0 is the score now over the Wolves. Here comes Armando Leckler to hold for Lázaro Frausto. 4:38 left in the first quarter, and the Eagles are on the board again. Frausto with the kick. It is up and good. And now the Eagles have a 14-0 lead with 4:38 left in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break. Lázaro Frausto now to send off this kickoff. The Eagles have a 14-0 lead. Different than we've seen the past 2 weeks down there in Laredo as the Eagles against the Bulldogs and the United Longhorns fell behind early on in those games and then had to play catch up in the second half. This is the kind of start that these coaches were looking for from their squad. This kickoff will be fielded at the 9-yard line by Armando Bustamante. And Bustamante still on his feet past the 20. A good return for him. He'll get to the 23. That's by 5 yards. Almost the best starting field position for LBJ, but they did start deep in Eagle territory over at the 28-yard line after that fumble. Trejo in the pistol now when the ball in the near hash mark. 3 receivers over to the far side, one split out wide left. He'll put Sanchez in motion, looks that way to the right flat. It's caught by Sanchez at the 15, and immediately on him is Danny Martinez to bring him down. Also there, Luis Velasquez, the linebacker. There is a LBJ player down over on the far side of the field. Ball's going to end up at the 15. It's a loss of 8 on that. It's going to be 2nd and 18 now from the 15-yard line. 4:14 showing here in the first quarter. The Mavericks were here at this stadium last night facing the Southwest Legacy Titans. The Mavericks took a loss in a tight game. The Mavericks were leading 21-20 at one point in the third quarter. And Legacy, with a furious comeback, was able to walk away here from here with victory. Again, it's homecoming eve for the kids at Eagle Pass High School, who've been working all week to rally voters to their side. And of course, we'll have results for you here down on the field at halftime, and we will broadcast those for you here on Eagle Pass Sports Central as well. We'll let you know the homecoming court once it's all said and done. Young man over on the far side of the field will go off under his own power. Next week, the Eagles in a Thursday game will be facing United South. We will be there for that game on Thursday over at the SAC in Laredo. 4:14 left here, 2nd and 17 for LBJ. Here's a quick pass caught over on the far side. The Eagle defense has to be careful. Good job there. Edwin Bocanegra with the reception. And there for the tackle is Devante Monsivais, who is in the area. The Eagles are doing a good job of containing this quick pass game, which is much like theirs. 3rd and 9 now. From there, flags fly before the snap. It's a false start against LBJ. Not a particularly raucous crowd here for the Eagles, but that J line has proved to be skittish today. This is about their 4th or 5th false start penalty, and it's going to put them now in a 3rd and 14 from the 18. Trejo takes the snap, drops back, trying to set up a screen, and it's batted down. Great job by Gunnar Caballero, who was right in Trejo's face. They were trying to set up a screen. The defense, as usual, when the offense is running a screen, had kind of a free space to get to the quarterback. And as Trejo tried to dump that off on the screen, Gunnar Caballero did exactly what he was supposed to do. He put his hand up in the air and batted it down. And on the incompletion, the clock stops with 3:45. 4th down, 2 men to receive for the Eagles on this punt. From the Eagles are standing at about the 45-yard line. This punt will come from inside the 5. That's Trejo, who has trouble with it. He manages to get it off, and then it takes a good LBJ bounce into Eagle territory. It's down at the 48. Edwin Bocanegra downed that. I think if he had let that go, it would have bounced a little more for LBJ. We'll take it. We're grateful for it. Bocanegra is probably going to get an earful from his special teams coach when he gets to the far sideline. But the Eagles are set up now at the 47. 3:36 left in the first quarter. The Eagles have scored on their last two possessions. Their opening drive of the game resulted in a fumble. After that, though, both possessions have resulted in points. Andres Garcia from the shotgun. He's got a diamond formation over to his left. He's looking that way as he drops back to pass. Now he comes up the middle, and it is in and out of the hands of Sebastian Diaz at about the 35-yard line. Good job there by Jose Guardiola in coverage. He was right on Diaz and made that catch uncomfortable for him. It'll be a 2nd and 10 now from the 47. It's a good pass by Andres Garcia right up the middle of the field. All those decoys pulled most of the defensive backs over with them, but Guardiola hung in there with Sebastian Diaz. Again, 3 receivers over to the far side. Garcia takes the snap. Here's a handoff to Cadrian Rodriguez. Puts both arms around the ball, and right up the middle of the formation, he goes to the LBJ side of the field to the 49. David Betancourt in on the tackle. And with 3:11 left in the first quarter, the Eagles have a 3rd and 6 now from the 49-yard line. Garcia from the shotgun. He's going to move Diaz to this side of the formation. Looks that way quickly. Now lets the pass go. He's got Pepe Hernandez all by himself and wide open. Pepe will juke a man. Juke 2 more at the 16 and still on his feet. He'll finally be brought down close to the 10 at the 12. But what a catch and what a run by Pepe Hernandez. You'd think LBJ looked at some tape coming into this game, and they know that Hernandez is a dangerous receiver. That's twice that they've left him wide open, and Hernandez knows what to do with the ball once he's got it in his hands. 1st and 10 from the 12. Garcia with a quick pass over to the left flat for Sebastian Diaz. He's able to navigate his way through the defense before being brought down at the 4-yard line. A gain of 8 yards. 2nd and 2. The Eagles can still get a 1st down at the 2-yard line. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Cadrian Rodriguez in the backfield with Garcia. Garcia will fake the handoff and then bounces left to where there are no Wolves. And he's in for the Eagle touchdown, a 4-yard touchdown run for Andres Garcia, his 2nd one of the ball game on the ground. The score for the moment, Eagles 20, LBJ 0 with 1:48 left in the first quarter. This is the kind of score that the Eagles have been facing over the past 2 weeks in the first half. They've turned it around now, and now they're the ones doing it here to the LBJ Wolves. Lázaro Frausto in for the point after attempt. Armando Leckler, the holder. Kick is on its way. High snap, but Leckler does a good job of bringing that down. And the kick is up and good to make the score 21-0 in favor of the Eagles. 1:48 left in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. A minute 48 left in the first quarter. The Eagles have a 21-0 lead. Lázaro Frausto is about to kick off after that 4-yard touchdown run by Andres Garcia, who's found his mojo again here against the LBJ Wolves. This kick is going to be fielded at the 13-yard line. And up to the far side of the field goes the return man, number 22, Jose Guardiola, I believe that is. It's always good when Boogie Purcell confirms my eyesight from up here. The PA announcer here, son of Mr. Lynn Purcell, who did this job for years and years and years with his best friend Morris Lipson Jr. We tip our cap, as always, to Mr. Purcell wherever he is. At 39 left. Ball on the 28. Here's a keeper by Trejo up the middle of the formation, and he gets to the 33 before being brought down by a bunch of Eagles. It's actually a handoff to Huerta. I thought that was quarterback who had kept that. It looked away momentarily, but the ball now is at the 33-yard line, where it's a 2nd and 5. Handoff this time goes to Guardiola, and Guardiola brought down at the 33 again for no gain, and it'll be a 3rd and 5 now. From there, as the clock ticks under a minute here in the first quarter at Kojo Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. Third and 5 now. Trejo from the shotgun takes the snap, takes the handoff. Here's a pass. It's caught for a first down by Edwin Bocanegra at the 40-yard line. He heads upfield to the 41. Danny Martinez was on him, but Bocanegra created enough space for him to make that catch beyond the sticks for a first down. The ball is at the 41-yard line now. And I do believe, as I look through my play chart, that is the first down for LBJ in this ball game. 41. 1st and 10 from there. 10 seconds left. LBJ doesn't have to snap it before the end of the quarter, but they will. And the handoff goes to, ball is on the ground. They've got to follow it up. Now I think the Eagles have it. The handoff went to Jose Guardiola. Guardiola fumbled, and as he fumbled, the horn blew for the end of the first quarter, and LBJ froze. The players for LBJ did not follow up. The Eagles, there was no whistle. The Eagles did follow up, and they were able to fall on top of the fumble. The Eagles will have possession now, very near midfield. Eagles have recovered a fumble of their own now. Ball is right at midfield. And right below me, the members of the class of 1978 are celebrating. Our PA announcer, Boogie Purcell, tells us that the class of 78 is in town 45 years ago. How about that? Start of the second quarter now from midfield. The Eagles, after recovering that fumble, ball is on the near hash mark. Andres Garcia from the shotgun with 3 receivers over to the far side. And Sebastian Velasquez split out wide left here. Now they'll wind the clock. And Garcia will wait for the snap. Drops straight back, looks left. Now steps up in the pocket, lets the pass go, and it is incomplete. Number 11, Sebastian Diaz, was in the area, but it was much closer to the LBJ defensive back from there. Garcia had a little room to run over on the right if he wanted to take it. Instead, it's a 2nd and 10 from midfield for the Eagles. At the start of the second quarter, the Eagles have a 21-0 game. Three receivers over to the far side of the formation for Andy Garcia. He'll take the snap. Handoff is to Cadrian Rodriguez, who had a very good running lane and very nearly gets first down. There's a flag on the play, and I believe it's going to be against LBJ for a hit at the end of that play. Ball for now. Rodriguez got the ball to the 39, the 41 rather, but we'll see if they add to that. Oh, it's a 15-yard penalty against the Eagles on a personal foul. And again, coaches talked about this at the prediction show. The Eagles have to keep their heads about them. Now, after that penalty, it is because it's a dead ball, the down counted. So now it's a 3rd and 16 from the 44-yard line. Ball is on the near hash mark. Garcia with Cadrian Rodriguez on his left. 3 receivers over to the far side. And the Eagles are going to call a timeout on defense. That'll be their first one of the half. 11:45 left here in the first half. Eagles have a 21-0 lead, and we'll take a quick break. Third and 16 for the Eagles from the 44-yard line in their own territory. And that personal foul penalty moved them all the way back here at the end of the previous run. Here's Diaz in motion across the formation. Garcia looks back. Quick pass, and it is incomplete on a deep slant intended for Willie Frausto at about the 45-yard line. And Frausto might have had some room if he had been able to come up with that. Pass was a little low, and Willie had to go down to get it. And on the incompletion, it brings up a 4th and 16, and the Eagles will punt for the first time today. Willie Frausto stays in to do that. 11:41 left in the second quarter. Armando Bustamantes back to receive this punt. On its way, good high punt, and it will go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line or so. The official on that near sideline is going to call it at the 30. LBJ will start from there. 11:33 left in the first half. Eagle defense pitching a shutout so far. I'm sure they will try to continue that here with a bunch of time left in the first half. Tight formation this time with the quarterback under center. We haven't seen this today from LBJ. Trejo with the toss back to Guardiola. Will try the left side and is unable to turn the corner over there. A loss of a yard to the 29 for him. So something new offensively for the Wolves, who've been running that kind of offense, pass out of it mostly. And from a shot, and this comes under center with top formation from the 29. This time, the ball up and Huerta, and Huerta finds some space on the left side of the line. Gets to the 35 for a gain of 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 5 10:47 left. Clear to the line now with Trejo again under center. 35 drops back to pass. It is caught over on the far side of the field near the sideline by Aiden, but he's out of bounds about 3 yards shy of a first down. It's a 4th and 3 from the 37 to LBJ. 4 yards. Kill on a sneak with that down in distance, and the Eagles are in business now on the LBJ side of the field from the 39-yard line. 10:25 showing on the clock in the first half. And here comes the Eagle offense now, only 39 yards away from the end zone. Two receivers on either side of the. Here's a quick pass to Sebastian Diaz, who's got tons of room at the 35, at the 30. Finally gets his feet taken out from under him inside the 30 to the 29. 10 yards will get the Eagles a first down. Boy, they're just giving these Eagle receivers lots of cushion over here. No one's on over Diaz right now. Here's a pass caught by Velasquez. Now the LBJ defense is on him quickly. A bunch of defenders there. In among them, Jose Ramirez for LBJ. Also number 12, Bernie Ramos in on that tackle. No gain on that play. It's a 2nd and 10 from the 29 now with 9:45 left in the first quarter, in the first half rather. 20 seconds left on the play clock, so the Eagles will audible into a new play. 2 receivers on either side of the formation for Andres Garcia. There's the snap. Looks to the far side, has Willie Frausto in the slot. And Frausto is able to get that ball and move it upfield and then gets past the tackler before finally being brought down at about the 10-yard line over on the far side of the field. Martin Flores finally caught up to him, but the first man who tried to tackle Willie Frausto had no luck. They're going to mark him down at the 12, and quickly to the line come the Eagles with the ball on the far hash mark at the 12-yard line. Quick pass to Diaz now to this side, and Diaz slips up as he turns the corner, and he's mad at himself because he had yards in front of him. If he was able to head upfield, the turf monster got him at about the 10. A gain of 2 yards there will bring up 2nd and 8 from the 10. The Eagles can get a first down at the 2-yard line. Now the ball is on the near hash mark. Andres Garcia takes the snap, looks to the end zone. A quick slant intended for Velasquez. Nothing doing there. So a 3rd and 7 now after the incompletion from the 12, from the 10-yard line. 8:37 left in the first half. The Eagles looking to add to their 21-0 lead here. They got this ball back at the LBJ 39. Garcia now from the shotgun. 3 receivers over to the far side. Puts Pepe Hernandez in motion. Rolls right. He's got room in front of him if he wants it. He decides to throw it to the back of the end zone, and it's incomplete for Pepe Hernandez. And on 4th down, the Eagles are going to attempt a field goal now. Garcia rolled to his right. He had some room in front of him if he wanted to run, but on 3rd down, he might not have been sure he could get the yardage needed in order to turn that into a first down. And he had a receiver at the front of the end zone too, but looked for Pepe Hernandez in the back, and it was just with a defender in the area too much for Pepe to handle. Here is a 27-yard field goal attempt, and it is good by Lázaro Frausto. 27-yard field goal adds 3 points to the score. 24-0 now is the Eagle lead with 8:26 left here on homecoming night from Kozel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're going to take a quick break. 8:26 left in the first half. The Eagles have added to their score, courtesy of a Lázaro Frausto field goal. 24-0 now is the Eagle lead. Here's the kickoff on its way again from Frausto. A good kick. AB Huerta fields this at the 1 over on the far side of the field. And he got past a bunch of blockers, and he's only got the kicker to beat now. Finally in Eagle territory, Jorge Martinez is able to track him down, but a great return by AB Huerta, who fielded that over at near the 1 yard line, near his own end zone, and followed his blockers, followed the wedge, and before anybody knew it, he was clear and through that group of tacklers. And a touchdown saving tackle by Jorge Martinez for the Eagles. LBJ now is at the 42 with 8:15 left in the first half. Huerta now with the handoff. He'll carry it around the corner inside the 40 to the 38, gain of 4 yards on the carry for the running back, AB Huerta. 7:56 left in the second quarter, 2nd and 6 now for the Wolves, who are on the move. Fumble on the handoff. Ball is on the ground near the 35-yard line, and they're going to say LBJ fell on top of it. There is a new quarterback in for the Wolves. That's number 10, Ivan Gonzalez, who's listed as a tight end. And he fumbled on that handoff there, probably not used to handling the ball too much. Ball is at the 37, at the 36. Movement on the LBJ line. I don't see any flags. There they are, and there's the penalty call. Ball's going to end up at the 41 now. And it's going to be a 3rd and 9 from there for LBJ. We'll get you some score updates from around the region in a minute. 7:09 left in the meantime here in the first half. There's the snap. Back to pass is Gonzalez. And the pass is incomplete into a bunch of defenders who were all surrounding Jorge Jaime, who was one of the only receivers out in the formation. And it's a 4th and 9 now. From there, wonder if LBJ will stay on the field with their offense here, or whether they'll punt and try to pin the Eagles deep. Gonzalez not the starting quarterback in. Now here comes Trejo, but I don't know if he's coming in to punt or to lead the offense. This looks like the punting team that's coming on, and Trejo will set up to receive the snap for a punt. The Eagles, in the meantime, are going to hurry Sebastian Diaz over onto the field to await this punt at about the 10-yard line. Here's the punt. Diaz will field it at the 10. He's got some room down here to the near side. He's able to get across the 20 to the 24, 25 it looks like, before being pushed out of bounds. Eagles now moving from right to left towards the north end zone on your screen. 6:48 left here in the first half. The Eagles will have the ball again. And looking to score again. Andres Garcia, 3 receivers here to the near side, 1 over to the far side. He's going to put Willie Frausto in motion. The keeper by Garcia, who evades a couple of tacklers, gets spun around as somebody was trying to rip the ball away from him. He's able to get 4 yards to the 29. 2nd and 6 coming up now for the Eagles. Homecoming festivities here at Kozo Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium at halftime. One thing that Coach Tom Gonzalez told us during the prediction show is that 10 of his Eagle players are representatives for some kind of homecoming club or another. And so it's got to be comforting to be going in with a 24-0 lead, knowing that 10 of your players will not be in the locker room with you at halftime. Quick pass caught by Willie Frausto at the 30, and he loses the ball at about the 31, and LBJ falls on top of it. And the Wolves are in business here in Eagle territory. The second Eagle fumble of the game. LBJ falls on top of it at the 31. And in Eagle territory now, the Wolves will take over. 5:59 left here in the first half, and LBJ will start a drive in Eagle territory at the 31. Gonzalez will stay in at quarterback. Again, he's listed as a tight end in our roster. Guardiola is the deep man in this tight run formation. A fake toss, and then to A.B. Huerta, who's got some room, cuts left, still on his feet, and finally dragged down inside the 15 at the 13. That's worked a couple of times now, that tight formation. Huerta is in tight up against the offensive line, almost as a wingman or as a blocker. And then on the counter, he gets handed the football, and the LBJ offensive line has been able to open some holes for him from that formation. Now here's a toss back to Guardiola, who has to cut in because the defense was corralling him, and he's brought down at the line of scrimmage. The 13, Gunnar Caballero, in and among the Eagles that were there. Also waiting for him was number 94 for the Eagles. 5:12 left in the first half. It's a 2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line. Tight formation again. Little problem with the handoff. Guardiola finally gets it, but he gets brought down as he nears the 10 at the 11. It's going to be a 3rd and 8 from there with 4:48 left in the first half. We want to thank all of you who are listening to and watching on Eagle Pass Sports Central, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. Again, an inside handoff. Nothing doing there, though, for the ball carrier, A.B. Huerta, and Huerta will lose a yard to the 12. We'll see what the Wolves do here now on a 4th and 10. Looks like they're bringing on the field goal team, the field goal kicking team. No, Trejo will be in the shotgun with A.B. Huerta in the backfield. Also, some confusion on the LBJ offense. They do have 2 timeouts left should they need one. Trejo rolls right. Here comes the defensive pressure. He's going to be sacked all the way back here at the 26-yard line. An outstanding play by Isauro Mauricio, who knifed through and was in that LBJ backfield and in Trejo's face as he rolled right, and Trejo just did not have the mobility to get away from Isauro Mauricio. He's dragged down all the way over here at the 25-yard line. That's where the Eagles will start after the ball goes over on downs with 3:49 left in the first half. Quick pass to Pepe Hernandez over on the far side by Andy Garcia. The defense 30-yard line. They'll give him the 31 for forward progress. A bunch of Wolves are there for the tackle. Jorge Hernandez, the defensive lineman, in among them. Also number 44, Sebastian Rodriguez. The Eagles get 6 yards out of that catch and carry. Ball's at the 31-yard line now. It's a 2nd and 4. 2 receivers on either side of the formation for Andy Garcia from the shotgun. 3:13 left in the first half. Here's Willie Frausto across the formation in motion. It's a keeper by Garcia who bounces left, now heads up field and glides all the way to midfield and beyond before running out of bounds over on the far side of the field. The Eagles have a first down in the Wolf territory at the 49-yard line. 3:01 left. Clock stops because Garcia stepped out of bounds over on the far side. Ball is on the far hash mark. Garcia rolls left, has Sebastian Diaz at the 45. Good tackle in open space there for LBJ by Bernie Ramos, the sophomore defensive back. Brings down Diaz at the 43. It's It's a 2nd and 4 now for the Eagles from there. Ball on the near hash mark again. The Eagles do have 2 timeouts left also in this half. Andres Garcia from the shotgun with 3 receivers over to the far side, 1 here to the near side. There's Kadrian Rodriguez with the carry. Gets past a couple of tacklers and heads towards the near sideline, trying to turn the corner, but he's got enough for an Eagle first down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. A good 10-yard carry there for Kadrian Rodriguez out of the backfield. 2:19 left now in the first half. The Eagles are on the move after the ball went over on downs on a spectacular sack by Izar Mauricio. Sebastian Diaz in motion. The ball goes to Kadrian Rodriguez up the middle of the formation. He'll go inside the 30 to the 29. Gain of 4 yards on the carry there. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Eagles. Scores from around the area. San Antonio Roosevelt beat Clark 36 to 21. Burbank beat Harlandale 35 to 21. Score here last night. San Antonio Legacy, Southwest Legacy beat the Mavericks 32 to 21. Here's a snap for Garcia. Rolls right, looks downfield. Now will keep it himself. Gets met at the 25 and then bowls forward for an Eagle first down to the 22-yard line. Good job by the Eagle quarterback on the keeper. The clock will stop momentarily at 1:38 while they move the chains. Also, though, the Eagles are going to call a timeout. Steele beat East Central 52 to 28. Up in Poteet, Jordanton leading the Poteet Aggies 21 to nothing. Sam Houston over Brackenridge 14 to nothing. Reagan and Churchill. Reagan on top 14 to nothing there in the first quarter in San Antonio. And we've got a couple of more games yet to be underway. We'll give you those score updates when we can. Also, playoff action for Major League Baseball. The Astros and the Rangers all tied up at 2 games apiece. And on the National League side, the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. 1:38 left. The Eagles do have 1 timeout in this half. Ball is at the 22-yard line. Over on the far hash mark, Andres Garcia will be in the shotgun. 3 receivers here to the near side. And Pepe Hernandez split out wide right over near the far sideline. Kadrian Rodriguez is in the backfield with Andres Garcia. There's a snap. Garcia rolls left, looks downfield. There's a pass. It is incomplete. In the area was Velasquez. Sebastian Velasquez. It's a 2nd and 10 now from the 22 after that incompletion. The clock stops on the incompletion at 1:32 left in the first half. Garcia with a quick hitch this way to Willie Frausto, who's got some room. Jukes him at the 16 and is taken out of bounds near the 10 at the 11-yard line, and that's good enough for an Eagle first down from the 11. 1:25 left. Clock stops because Willie Frausto went out of bounds. The Eagles, though, still do have 1 timeout left here. They're looking to score again before the end of the half in a game that they have in hand right now, 24 to nothing. From the near hash mark at the 11-yard line, Garcia has 2 receivers here, 3 receivers over to the far side of the formation. It's a quarterback draw. Cuts left, now upfield at the 5, and he's in for the touchdown. Andres Garcia gets the ball past the pylon. An 11-yard run, and that is Andres Garcia's 3rd running touchdown of the ball game here to make the score Eagles 30, LBJ Wolves 0. Lázaro Frausto will come on for the point after attempt. Armando Leckler will be the holder. 1:18 left in the first half. There's a snap, the hold. The kick is on its way, and it is good. The score now, Eagles 31, LBJ nothing, with a minute 18 left in the first half. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. With a minute 18 left in the first half, the Eagles have a 31-0 lead. And we want to thank all of you again who are joining us on Eagle Pass Sports Central. My partner, Morris Lipson Jr. is out of town, but I'm alongside here, bringing you all the action. Lázaro Frausto with the kickoff. And that ball is out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. A penalty against the Eagles, and it'll move the ball up for the LBJ Wolves. Again, tomorrow, the Mighty Eagle Band, which will not be performing its usual UIL marching show here at halftime because of homecoming festivities. The band will be staying after the game to perform its show. And then tomorrow, very early in the morning, the band is on its way to Cedar Park in Gupton Stadium up north of Austin to participate in area marching contest for UIL there. LBJ from the 30-yard line has a minute and 18 left. Trejo back in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, try a quarterback draw, and he's dropped 2 yards in the backfield at the 28. 2nd and 12 coming up. Gunnar Caballero there in the backfield to stop that play cold in its tracks. And now we're under a minute left in the second quarter. Quick pass to the left. A.B. Huerta has some room from the slot. He'll get about 4 or 5 yards across the 30 to the 32. But it's going to be a 3rd and 8 from there with 32 seconds left for LBJ. The Eagles will get the ball back first, or will get the ball first to start the second half. Play clock and game clock are pretty much exactly synced, and so LBJ will run one more play here on 3rd down. Quick pass caught by Huerta. These Eagles have to be careful because there was no one behind him. There was one deep safety, and Huerta gets it across the 40 to the 41 after that catch. So 1st down from there. The clock stops as they move the chains. LBJ does have 2 timeouts left here in the first half. We'll see if they elect to use him here with, well, now no seconds left. And I suppose that LBJ will not be calling a timeout before the end of the half. 31-0 is the Eagle lead at halftime. And we want to thank our sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Valde Record Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilla Factory, T&T Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Clarisa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Tabanny Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Joch's Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Melo State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, Ruiz and Associates, Maverick AC Supplies, Rudy's Optical, Yopos, and United Medical Centers. And on behalf of Eagle Pass Sports Central, we want to thank our season sponsors, Brown Chevrolet, Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancira Ford of Eagle Pass, State Representative Eddie Morales, IBC Bank, and Chocha's Barbecue. 31-0 is the Eagle lead. We'll have halftime festivities here during halftime, and we will be back with some results for you in the second half.
Direct your attention to the center of the field. EPHS would like to proudly present the 2023 Homecoming Representatives. Representing ASL, Diego Rodriguez and Anaí Gutierrez. Representing Band, Ricky Lopez and Abigail Zacano. Representing Baseball, Zach Lucy and Representing Basketball, Roberto Martinez and Jillian Everett. Representing Cheer, Nico Flores and Lilian Garza. Representing Cross Country, Miguel Godina and Luis Hinojo. Representing Diamond Dance Team, Juan Jorge Sierra and Ilse Linet Fernandez. Representing Football, Diego Guerra and Anaí Camarillo. Representing the freshman class, Cordera and Vanessa Santos. Representing FFA, Jesus Maca and Isabela de la Garza. Representing Jose, Diego Velada Paqueta and Itzel Fuentes. Representing the junior class, Christian Damasio II and Sierra Kobe. Representing NHS, representing the senior class, Eric Garcia and Ivana Viopas. Representing softball, Christopher Campos and Lindsay Rodriguez. Representing the sophomore class, Sebastian Velasquez and Ailani Williams. Representing volleyball, Jose Castillo and Emily Gomez. Helping with our coronation this evening is our 2022 Homecoming Queen, Ashley Hiller, escorted by Alan Silva. And ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have all been waiting for. Your 2023 Homecoming Lord and Lady. Representing Cheer, Rico Flores and Lillian Garza. Your 2023 Homecoming Count and Countess. Representing football, Diego Villarreal and Lisa Maria. Your 2023 Homecoming Duke and Duchess. Representing baseball, Isaac Mauricio and Lorelai Gonzalez. Your 2023 Homecoming Prince and Princess. Representing Bang, Frankie Lopez and Abigail Delgado. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Homecoming King and Queen. Representing basketball. Legal process for the student council would like to thank the LBJ administration for all their hard work and assistance. Thank you to our principal, Mr. Luis Roca,
Welcome back for the start of the second half. Ruben Valadez along with you here. Eagles have a 31-0 lead over the LBJ Wolves. The Eagles looking healthy now. After an 0-2 start to their district season, they will improve to 6-2 with this victory, and then, of course, move to 1-2 in district play with still some tough games left. All of these games, of course, have playoff implications. Eagles will receive to start this second half. The kick from Trejo is on its way. It's a short kick that will be fair caught by Willie Frausto at the 29-yard line over on the other side of the field. Homecoming festivities at halftime. In case you weren't watching, I know that there were folks who listened in at halftime for the results of those. The representatives from basketball were crowned homecoming king and queen this evening. We'll get all of those names for you here as we move along in our broadcast during the second half. Eagles will start at the 29-yard line. Andy Garcia from the shotgun has Kadrian Rodriguez behind him. The handoff is to Kadrian, who bounces left, trying to turn the corner over on the other side before being escorted out of bounds across the 35 to the 38-yard line. Mark him down at the 36, actually. Gain of 6 yards there, and it brings up a 2nd and 4 for the Eagles. Just underway here in the second half. We're going to have some score updates for you from around the region. Of course, the Mavericks were here last night. They took a loss to the Southwest Legacy Titans. Here's Rodriguez now coming to this side, looking to turn the corner. He's going to be stopped shy of the 40, but that should be good enough for an Eagle first down. At number 4, Martin Flores with the tackle for the Wolves. They're going to mark Kadrian down at the 40, and that is going to be good enough for an Eagle first down. The ball will be on the near sideline. Some NFL football in the books from last night. Here's another carry by Kadrian Rodriguez. Escapes the first man, puts up a stiff arm, and is able to get about 2 yards as that window was closing there. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Eagles. The Jaguars took care of the Saints last night. And New Orleans, of course, a lovely city. Haven't visited there in a while, but if anyone's listening in from Louisiana, we want to welcome him into the broadcast. 10:50 left here in the third quarter. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Eagles. Ball on the far hash mark, drops back to pass. He's got a man open, and in and out of the hands of the outstretched receiver at about the 16-yard line. That was Sebastian Vasquez over on the far side, streaking down the far sideline, and he came open just enough with that ball, just a bit overthrown for Vasquez to come up with it. Clock will stop on the incompletion at 10:32, and it'll be a 3rd and 8 now for the Eagles. Next week, the Eagles head to Laredo for a game against the United South Panthers. We'll be there at Eagle Pass Sports Central. We'll bring you that game. Here's a pass by Garcia. 2 receivers in the area down here for the Eagles. Willie Frausto tried to bring that in with his outstretched hands and was unable to. And on 4th down, the Eagles are going to bring their punting unit onto the field. And the LBJ defense has held here in the opening drive for the Eagles of the second half. And now, of course, that Eagle defense has to be careful. You don't want to give them any room to come back here in the second half. LBJ, again, comes in with a winning record, 5-2, but just like the Eagles are 0-2 in district. Willie Frausto with a high kick up in the air. It'll take a very good Eagle bounce as it hits at the 30 and is headed toward the 20-yard line. It'll be finally downed at the 21. That's where LBJ will start with 10:13 left in the third quarter. And in that first half, I mentioned to you that the Astros and the Rangers were all tied up at 2 in the MLB playoffs. Here's an update for you from our friend Ricardo Calderon at Eagle Pass Business Journal. The Astros rallied in the top of the ninth. Jose Altuve with a 3-run home run to take over the ball game and beat the Rangers 5-4. Here is A.B. Huerta with the carry. Tripped up at the 30, a yard shy of a first down, and this is what we were talking about. The Eagles have to be careful not to soften up here. It is a 31-point lead, but it can evaporate in a hurry if they're not careful. Here's another carry for Huerta. Picks his way around the defense as he comes to the near hash mark, and he's down for a first down at the 34-yard line. Here's to my partner Morris Lips here filling in the gaps. In commentary, Morris is out of town this week, and we wish him the best wherever he and Dora are this weekend. 9:32 left here in the third quarter. I've got play calling duties and color duties by myself tonight. Miscommunication there as Trejo let that pass go long, and his receiver, Jorge Jaime, stopped short here at about the 40-yard line on the incompletion. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line for LBJ. That United South team that the Eagles will face next week is always a dangerous team. 9:23 left here in the third quarter. So the Eagles have to be careful. Every game is important now in district play if the Eagles want to make it to the playoffs. Trejo with a quarterback draw, and the Eagle defense is on him immediately. They'll give him forward progress, I think, to the line of scrimmage. It's actually a loss of a yard back to the 33 on the keeper by Trejo. Bunch of Eagles there for the tackle. Diego Villarreal, who is now homecoming royalty, representing football, was the count in the homecoming court, in on that tackle. 3rd and 11 now for LBJ. Trejo drops straight back, and now he's got the defense in his face, and that is going to be an intentional grounding call. As Trejo just let that go, that ball didn't make it toward the line of scrimmage, so they're going to call this an intentional grounding. 4th down is coming up anyway, so we'll see what the Eagles decide to do. They'll take the yardage. It's a loss of down anyway on an intentional grounding play. There's a call on Trejo. It's 4th down. They'll take the yards on the penalty, and it'll push the Wolves back inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, where it'll be 4th down. Sebastian Diaz and Pepe Hernandez at midfield awaiting this punt. Trejo usually stays on to punt for the Wolves. 8:43 left in the third quarter. The punt is on its way end over end, and it sends Diaz back all the way to the 35, makes an over-the-shoulder catch, now has a little room up the middle of the formation, and he's brought down near midfield at the 49-yard line. The Eagles will set up shop there with 8:27 left in the third quarter, and we want to thank all of you who are joining us here. We want to thank our sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Balderbecker Service, Nevada's Law Firm, Allstate, Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilla Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, or R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Tabany Insurance, Chapala Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance. Here's Andy Garcia now from the shotgun with an empty backfield, takes the snap, looks left, now comes back right, finds Pepe Hernandez, and Pepe Hernandez's blockers in front of him as he streaks down the near sideline before going out of bounds inside the 30 at the 27-yard line. That play has been working all game long. Pepe Hernandez on a quick pass out to the sideline, and they are giving him a bunch of cushion down there. And by the time the defense is able to get on top of him, he's already 9-10 steps ahead and on his horse, and he's got jets once he's out in the open field. 8:10 left now in the third quarter. The Eagles are on the move inside the 30-yard line. Garcia looks left. Quick pass caught by Cadrian Rodriguez at the 30. He's brought down by the ankles and manages to lunge forward to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good tackle there by Eric Garcia, the senior defensive back for LBJ. Be a 2nd and 10 now from the 28-yard line. Garcia from the shotgun. He's got a free play because the Wolves came over the line of scrimmage. And that pass is bobbled and caught in the end zone by Sebastian Diaz on an amazing juggling catch. It was tipped. We're going to have a foul call here, but it's going to be an offside. It's going to be declined by the Eagles. And how about that throw? 28 yards in the air by Andres Garcia. It fell a little short, and an LBJ defensive back jumped up, tipped it, and then Sebastian Diaz, who was in the area, lunged forward and was able to bring it in for the Eagle touchdown, an acrobatic touchdown catch by Sebastian Diaz. 7:19 left in the third quarter. The Eagles have added points to this. 37 now is the score, and Lázaro Frausto is on for the point after attempt. Armando Leckler is the holder. There's the snap. The kick is on its way and good. The Eagles now have a 38-0 lead over the LBJ Wolves with 7:19 left in the third quarter. We're going to use this time to take a little break. $7:19 left now in the third quarter. The Eagles have extended their lead to 38-0. Lázaro Frausto will be kicking off from the 40. Here is the kick on its way. A.B. Huerta's waiting for it at about the 5. Picks it up on one bounce. Heads right. Now upfield over the far hash mark. Finally brought down by the Eagle coverage team at the 26-yard line. That's where LBJ will set up shop. We'll get some score updates for you from around the region here. We do have one from Del Rio, where the Longhorns, the United Longhorns, are up on the Del Rio Rams 42-14. Here come the Wolves from the 25-yard line. Gonzalez in at quarterback again, and on the keeper, he's dropped at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. There's an injury down on the field. A man down for LBJ, about the 25-yard line. Let's get you some score updates from around the Eagles and Mavericks district. We told you United is up on Del Rio 42-14. Alexander is beating South 14-7. And in the Mavericks district, of course, the Mavericks took a loss last night here, 32-12. Southside is beating Martin 29-10. The Mavericks have Martin next week. Nixon is all up on Cigarroa 35-0. And Southwest is beating South San 28-0. Now some more games of interest. Here's the next play, though. That young man able to get off the field for the Wolves. Trejo lets a pass go, and it is nearly caught at midfield by Edwin Bocanegra, and had Bocanegra pulled that in, that was a short touchdown. He had nobody behind him. The Eagles got caught looking in the backfield, and Bocanegra streaked down the far hash mark. That pass just slightly overthrown, and the receiver couldn't get to it. And it's going to be a 3rd and 10 now from the 25. Ball on the far hash mark. Trejo in the pistol. Rolls left, looking for a man. The pass is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Anthony Rodriguez, but that was going to be well short of a first down anyway. And on 4th down, the Eagles will bring the punting team onto the field. .636 left. You can hear the mighty Eagle Band off in the distance. They will be traveling to Cedar Park tomorrow, up at Gupton Stadium for area marching competition. It's going to be a 4-hour ride for most of us that are following the band tomorrow. Here's a punt. It's a good one over the head of Diaz, and then takes a good LBJ bounce. Wow, this ball's going to end up inside the 5, where Diaz picks it up. That's actually Pepe Hernandez who picks it up and heads to this side of the field. Still on his feet. Now cuts inside at the 40, 35, 30. Still on his feet. He's got one man to beat. And he's brought down inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Pepe Hernandez. Looking back here to see if there's any flags. There are 2. At the 25, right where he came to the near side. And I think this is all going to be for naught. Still an exciting play by Pepe Hernandez. We all thought he was just going to let that ball lie at the 4 or 5 yard line. He just decided to pick it up and run with it. But there's a blocking foul back here. 5-yard line, and the Eagles will start deep in their own territory with 6:07 left in the 3rd quarter. Going to spot this ball at the 25. It's about 6 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter, and you have to wonder after this quarter if the Eagles will allow many more of their starters to remain in the game. You don't want to get anyone hurt. You still have 2 very important district games to play after this one. Garcia takes the shotgun snap. Quick pass over to the far side. That's Sebastian Diaz with the catch. And he'll move it upfield on the far sideline. Out of bounds at the 18. The line of scrimmage is actually the 13, not the 25. So a gain of 5 yards brings up 2nd and 8 now for Sebastian Diaz. 5:59 left here in the 3rd quarter. Clock stops because Diaz went out of bounds. Ball now is on the far hash mark. And Garcia with 3 receivers here to the near side takes the snap. Here's a quick pass to Willie Frausto in traffic. There's a fight for that ball. We got to see who comes up with it, because Willie Frausto and the defender had their arms around that ball at the same time. Now they're going to give it to Frausto. A tie goes to the offense. And so Willie Frausto gets a first down at the 28-yard line. And you got to hand it to Willie Frausto. Garcia threw that ball in, and Frausto had about 2 defenders all around him. And he had to fight to come down with that one. It's good enough for an Eagle first down, though, at the 28. 5:33 left here in the 3rd quarter. Garcia now from the pistol formation, hands off. No, it's a keeper. He comes to this side, bounces right at the 45 at midfield. Now turns on the jets and still on his feet as he runs out of bounds down here on the near sideline, inside the 35 at the 34. A long run. Andres Garcia, after a tough couple of weeks, has come back with a vengeance. 3 touchdowns on the ground and 1 passing touchdown. Responsible for all the touchdowns here for the Eagles in this ball game. Now from the shotgun, Garcia rolls left, looking downfield. He's going to try in the end zone, and that pass is incomplete. There was a battle for it between number 8, Sebastian Velasquez, and the defensive back. And Velasquez very nearly came down with it. There's a flag back here at the 40. The officials are meeting at about 45. We'll get the call from our referee, Kenneth Brown, this evening. It's a chop block penalty against the Eagles. It'll cost them a bunch of yards. Ball ends up back here at the 49, where it'll be a 15 and 25, first and 25. 5:04 left in the third quarter. The Eagles looking to add to this 38-0 lead. And again, at this point, you've just really got to be careful not to get anybody hurt here with the end of the season approaching. Garcia again to throw, again to Velasquez in the backfield. Makes that catch and tries to move upfield. He's stopped there by Luis Rios. He's down at the 47. The clock will keep moving after that play, something we haven't seen a whole lot of here in this ball game. Ball is on the far hash mark now, where it's a 2nd and 23 for the Eagles. Late substitutions coming in for the Wolves on the defensive line. Garcia is going to be in the backfield all by himself again. 3 receivers here to the near side, 2 over to the left side. Garcia's got Willie Frausto streaking right up the middle. Frausto with the catch at the 25, and into the end zone he goes for a 47-yard touchdown strike. Andres Garcia is on fire tonight. His 5th touchdown of the ballgame. 3 on the ground, 2 passing, and he's going to have monster yards when we review those going into the prediction show next week. 44-0 for now is the Eagles score. Willie Frausto caught that just the way you'd like to see your slot receiver catch it. In stride, up the middle of the field, never broke stride, and then went right into the end zone. A 47-yard touchdown for the Eagles. Lázaro Frausto on for the point after attempt. The kick is on its way, and it is good. 4:10 left now in the third quarter, and the Eagles have a 44-0 lead. We'll be back. .410 left here in the third quarter, and the Eagles now have a commanding 45-0 lead. Lázaro Frausto will kick off. And this is just what the Eagles needed to get healthy after back-to-back losses. This kick will be fielded at the 25-yard line. Coming this way is the return man, still on his feet as he crosses the 40. That's Armando Bustamante with the return. Pushed out of bounds here at the 45-yard line. That's where LBJ will get started with 4 minutes left. Ball on the near hash mark at the 45-yard line for LBJ. Trejo into shotgun with three receivers over to the far side. Takes the snap. The handoff is to A.B. Huerta. Bounces off one receiver. Tries to cut upfield, and he'll be brought down at the 47. It'll be a 2nd and 8 for the Wolves. Here's some scores from around the region for you. Jordanton is all up on Poteet, 28-0. On a 2nd and 8, Trejo looks left, passes too high for the intended receiver, Mauro Guzman. And it's going to be a 3rd and 8 now. Reagan is beating Churchill 28-0 at half. O'Connor all over Stevens 28-0 in the 3rd quarter. Here's 3rd and 8 now for the Wolves. Trejo takes the snap, drops way back, and then gets that ball batted in his face. Incomplete. Isar Mauricio with that bat down, one of the outstanding defensive linemen for the Eagles. And on 4th down, the Wolves will be punting this away. Taft leading Holmes 13-6. Alamo Heights putting a hurting on Edison 66-6 over in the 09 area code in Alamo Heights. San Antonio Jefferson beating San Antonio McCullum 21-17. Flags on the play. They stopped the plays. Probably some pre-snap movement against the Wolves. Catula and Lytle in a tight game. Lytle leading 7-6. Hondo beating Crystal City 35-14. Bracketville beating Rock Springs 45-6. Want to say hi to our friends in Bracketville too. Here is a return by Pepe Hernandez, still on his feet, still squiggling around, trying to turn. It's actually Sebastian Velasquez with the return, and Velasquez gets it to the 36-yard line. That's where the Eagles will start. Still with 3 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter, 3:04 to be exact. Here's one from the prediction show. Smithson Valley beating Bernie Champion 28-14. That's not good because I picked Bernie Champion at the prediction show on that. Poth beating Natalia 37-0. New quarterback in for the Eagles now with this lead. Javier who did outstanding when Andy Garcia was hurt earlier in the season. And on that quarterback keeper, Barrera gets to the 45-yard line, just a yard shy of a 1st down, 2nd and 1 coming up. Poth and Natalia. Every time I talk about Poth, I'm reminded of my friend Jeff Garcia. Want to wish him well wherever he is this evening. And the rest of the games in the San Antonio area are all slated for tomorrow. Here's a carry now by number 29, Eddie hold, of course, now are getting some playing time here with still 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter and up 45-0. After the penalty, the ball is at the 46. Eagles have a first down from there. It's a man in motion across the formation. It's another keeper by Barrera. He's caught in the backfield for a loss of 2 yards back to the 44. We mentioned it earlier. Javier Barrera did an excellent job filling in for Andy Garcia when he was hurt earlier this season. That's 2 games before the start of district play. The young man handled himself quite well. You heard the coaches talk about it at the prediction show at the time. Under a minute and a half left in the third quarter now as the clock ticks down. And the Eagles are in no particular hurry to get their plays off now. We'll have the homecoming court names, not the court up here, but homecoming court names for you in the fourth quarter. Eddie Valadez again with the carry, and he gets pushed out of bounds over on the far side of the field in Wolf territory at the 49-yard line. And it's going to be a 3rd and 5 now. A minute 3 left in the third quarter. Clock stops. Valadez went out of bounds over on the far side. Man in motion across the formation. Barrera again with the keeper right up the middle. He goes. You won't have enough for a first down. He's brought down at the 46, but a couple of yards shy of a first down. And we'll see what the Eagles decide to do here on 4th and 2. On comes the punting team. They'll try to pin the Wolves back deep with a punt. The clock ticking now, under 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. We still have a whole quarter to play. It was nice to see all of those homecoming reps down on the field at halftime. Always a nice part of the homecoming festivities. Low snap. Willie Frausto has to pick it up and just run with it. He might have a first down. Willie Frausto with an outstanding play. It was a low snap. He had to pick it up off the ground, looked up, saw that he had no choice but to run with it. And he had a bunch of room over on the left side, and he gets the Eagles an unexpected first down at the 41-yard line over on the far side of the field. And the Eagles have a whole new set of downs to work with now with 16 seconds left in the third quarter. Again, we're going to be doing double duty for you next week. We're going to bring you both games, the Eagles and the Mavericks. Here is another carry for Eddie Valadez, who spins around and is given forward progress to the 39. Again, of a couple of yards there, and that'll do it. That'll be the last play of the third quarter. We're going to step away for just a minute while we switch sides of the field. Shouldn't take long. We'll be back. Start of the fourth quarter now. The Eagles with a 2nd and 8 From the 44-yard line, from the 39-yard line, rather. Barrera in at quarterback now. The handoff to Eddie Valadez. He'll put his head down and get the Eagles some good yardage there. All the way to the 35. A gain of 4 yards on the carry. It'll be a 3rd and 4 now from there. Next week, we're going to be for you. We're going to put a lot of miles on the Eagle Pass Sports Central van there on the Suburban. We're going to be in Laredo on Thursday night for the game between the Eagles and United South. And we're going to be there on Friday night as well, our 3rd visit to Shirley Field in Laredo for the game between the Mavericks and the Martin Tigers. We've got a timeout called on the field by the Eagles, and we'll use that timeout to take our own timeout with 11:14 left in the ball. Third and 4. The handoff to Valadez. Let's go the ball. There's a fumble at the 30, and it gets picked up by LBJ. That is, I believe, the 4th fumble of the game, 2 for each side. And on that one, LBJ recovers at the 30-yard line. Still 11:07 left here. Trejo this time is going to be under center from the 30-yard line with a man deep in the backfield. The handoff is to the up man in the formation. That is Armando Bustamante. Bustamante gets that across the 35 all the way to the 38-yard line. A couple of yards shy of the first down. It's going to be 2nd and 2 from there for LBJ. Of course, there are 6 teams in this district. Quick play run here. Across the 40 to the 42. A.B. Huerta gets the Wolves a first down at the 42. And again, here come quickly to the line the Wolves. Under center is Trejo. Fakes the handoff. Tries to take it himself, and he'll get caught at the 38-yard line, and he might need some help getting up. He was sandwiched by the Eagle defense over on that side of the field, Armando Leckler. And Isar Mauricio in on that tackle, and it didn't look great the way that the young man, Trejo, the quarterback, kind of went down. We're going to give the athletic trainers some time to take a look at that young man over at the 34. 10-17 left in the ball game. We'll be right back. 10:03. They've wound the clock now here in the ball game. Trejo was able to get off the field, and Gonzalez will come in under center now. That's actually A.B. Huerta under center, and he hands off to one of the men tied up against the line. It's Armando Bustamante with the carry, and he'll get back to the 39. It's going to be a 3rd and long now for LBJ, and the Wolves will call a timeout, and we'll be right back. .9:29 left in the ball game now. Eagles with a 45-0 lead. Here's a long pass by Trejo. They called the timeout just to see if they could bring him back in the game. That pass is incomplete. Good job running step by step with the receiver over on the far side of the field by the Eagle defensive back. We're trying to get a number on him. Should have been Danny Martinez. He's usually lined up unless someone new is in there. That's number 27. It looks like Jorge Martinez with the coverage over there. Good job by him. And it's a 4th down now and long. And Trejo will come on for the punt. Line drive punt. That will get to the return man in a hurry, and he picks it up and turns on the Jets. That's Sebastian Velasquez still on his feet down the near sideline. And we'll get into LBJ territory. They're going to mark him out at the 40. And with 9:11 left here in the ball game, the Eagles, I'm sure, will just hand the ball off and try to wind this clock down to the end. The mighty Eagle Band having a fun time over to our right. Here's Barrera with the handoff. And it's Emilio Mendoza with the carry. Get 5 yards to the 35. 2nd and 5 from there. And again, now the Eagles really are in no hurry to snap the ball. Just trying to wind this clock down now. With 8:45 left. Miss my partner, Morris Lipson Jr. Wish he was up here with us in the booth, but he's having fun this weekend. Him and Dora and their family at a wedding. Here's Mendoza again with the carry. Tries to bounce right, but is pushed back. He'll be down at the 37. Loss of a couple of yards there is going to make it a 3rd and about 7 now. For the Eagles, next week, our prediction show will be at Ancita Ford of Eagle Pass. And then on Thursday evening, we will head to Laredo to bring you the game between the Eagles and the United South Panthers. And on Friday afternoon, we will head to Laredo to bring you the game between the Mavericks and the Martin Tigers. On a 3rd and 7, Barrera looks left. Little hitch pass to Mendoza here in the left flat. Dropped. It's an incomplete pass. And now on 4th down, the Eagles will punt and try to pin LBJ deep. Still have 7:43 left in this ball game. As we reach the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour, 9:23 or so. We'll get some updates from around the college ranks for you as well. Here's a punt by Willie Frausto. Kicks at the 10, and it's going to die at the 6-yard line. An excellent punt by Willie Frausto with 7:32 left in the game. LBJ will start in the shadow of their own goalpost at the 6-yard line. Some big college games tomorrow. By the way, in the National League, the Phillies are up 4-2 on the Diamondbacks. We told you the Astros beat the Rangers 5-4 to take a 3-2 series lead. Quick pass, incomplete over to the far side by Trejo. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 from the 6 there. SMU beat Temple today, 55-0. And let's get you what the football landscape, the college football landscape, looks like tomorrow. 7:29 left here in the ball game. Here's a quick pass caught at the 11-yard line, and then off to the races is Armando Bustamante, still running. Eagles are trying to catch up to him. They finally will at the 12-yard line. A good hustle play there by Jorge Martinez, coming all the way for the tackle. In the meantime, Bustamante took that little hitch pass right at about maybe the 8 or 9-yard line, and then very quickly got past the defense and turned on the Jets. Some life for the LBJ Wolves late in the game here. They've got a first down at the 11-yard line with under 7 minutes left just in the ball game. My Missouri Tigers tomorrow. Here's Trejo with the keeper up the middle. He goes. He's got room. Bounces left. He'll be brought down shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. Be a 2nd and 5 from there. The Wolves can still get a first down. Armando Leckler in on that tackle for the Eagles. My Missouri Tigers will welcome into South Carolina Gamecocks tomorrow as Mizzou looks to improve its record to 7-1. Tight formation for the Wolves, a little offensive confusion there. Now they've got everybody ready. Trejo goes under center. There's a flag on the play. The Eagles will use that stoppage to get a couple of new players in. It'll be a false start on LBJ. It'll march him back 5 yards, back to the 11. It'll be a 2nd and 10 now from there. Here are your college football games tomorrow. Baylor is up in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, one of those new Big 12 games. Here's the ball on the far hash mark. Trejo under center with a loaded backfield. Drops back, looks into the end zone, and it is caught by Edwin Bocanegra. The Wolves get on the scoreboard here with 5:45 left in the ball game. And the Eagle defense, which was pitching a shutout up to that point, gives up 6 points there late in the game. They did an outstanding job today, though, that the Eagle defense worked on a lot of things that Coach Roger Olivas, defensive coordinator Roger Olivas, talked to us about at the prediction show on Wednesday. And they're doing a great job today. A.B. Huerta is the holder here. Point after is by Trejo. It's blocked. The Eagles can pick it up and run it back for 2. if they can, but Leclerc picks it up at the 2, and then his momentum takes him out of bounds. So 45-6 now is the score with 5:45 left in the ball game. We'll be right back. .545 left in the ball game. The Wolves have just gotten on the scoreboard. 45-6 is the Eagle lead. We'll have a kick that will be fielded meant to be fielded at the 25, went through the returner's hands. And Johnny on the spot, as my partner Morris Lipson likes to say, right there at the 30-yard line, was number 25, Isar Mauricio, who's been busy in this game, but he's kept the Eagles alive. 5:42 left now in the ball game. The Eagles will take over at the 30-yard line. We're going to add 5 yards to the 35 because the Lobos were offsides on the kick, and they'll enforce that from the spot of the return. 5:42 left here in the ball game. The Eagles have to get healthy this week. They've got a short week. They've got to be in Laredo on Thursday evening. So 5:42 left in the game. Here's a quick pass to this side for the intended receiver, Hector Jimenez, who makes the catch, but then slipped 2 yards in the backfield. So it's a catch, but it's a 2-yard loss. They're going to call it incomplete, so the ball is back at the 35, actually. So 2nd and 10 from there for the Eagles. Barrera, here's a handoff to Mendoza, comes all the way here, now cuts upfield. And they're going to wind the clock, even though he went out of bounds there at the end. A good 15-yard gain for Emilio Mendoza there. Gets the Eagles a first down at midfield. Under 5.5 minutes left in the ball game now. Got some folks down in the stands trying to beat the homecoming traffic, the homecoming rush at the end of this game. Here's a keeper by Javier Barrera, and he'll get 5 yards to the 45. It's going to be 2nd and 5 from there. 4.5 minutes left now as the Eagles try to lock this thing up. I believe this is the last home game for the Eagles. No, they'll be here against Del Rio, I think. Yes, so not senior night yet. Senior night will be against Del Rio. Here's a handoff to Mendoza. Up the middle of the formation he goes, and he's got the Eagles a first down At the 37-yard line, they'll move the chains. And Mendoza, who fumbled in the first offensive series of the ball game for the Eagles and then never really saw the ball again, is now trying to make an impression, a good one, on his coaches with his running here late in the game. 3:42 left. We want to thank those of you who are hanging with us on YouTube and Facebook. A little confusion in the backfield, but Javier Barrera is able to pull that ball down and get a bunch of yards all the way to the 21. 16-yard carry there for Javier Barrera. I want to welcome a pretty young lady into the booth, joining us here late in the ball game, wearing a lovely mum for homecoming. Texas, of course, famous all over the country for our giant mums. That's not the case here. Ana Cristina Valadez not wearing a giant mum. 1st and 10 for the Eagles from the 21. A keeper by Barrera. This time the defense is on him quickly. Number 99, Luis Leos, with the tackle all the way, a 4-yard loss to the 24. 3-yard loss. 2.5 minutes left now as the clock is still ticking. Homecoming, by the way, a tradition that was born, of all places, at the University of Missouri. Here's Barrera with another keeper trying to turn the corner on the far side of the field. Is able to get to the 20. It'll be a 3rd and 10 for the Eagles from there. Of course, the big matchup tomorrow at 11 in the morning is Penn State visiting Ohio State. Morris's Aggies have a bye week this week, so they cannot lose. Barrera went out of bounds, so the clock stops with 2:07 left in the ball game. Ball is on the far hash mark. Javier Barrera in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Keeps it himself. Up the middle he goes. Gets past a couple of tacklers, and then the pile gets pushed forward to the 15. A gain of 3 yards. It's going to be 4th and 5 there, and we'll see what head coach Tom Gonzalez decides to do from here. Tennessee and Alabama squaring off tomorrow. Oregon trying to bounce back against Washington State. Here is a 32-yard field goal attempt by Lázaro Frausto. Ball is right in the middle of the hash marks. The kick is up. It's got plenty of power behind it, and it's good. Lázaro Frausto with his second field goal of the game, one from 22 and one from 32. With 1:19 left, the Eagles now lead 48-6. And we'll be back. Lázaro Frausto will kick off now. After his field goal. Ball is in the air and will be fielded at the 10-yard line by A.B. Huerta, who's got a bunch of running room and still on his feet over on the far sideline. Finally taken out of bounds right at the 35. A minute 12 left in the ball game.
Out to the 35-yard line. That's where the Wolves have the ball, 1st and 10.
Trejo in the ball game. In the backfield all by himself. Takes the snap, looks left, quick pass. Caught by Mauro Guzman at the 40, and then he's able to get all the way to the 42-yard line before being dropped over on the far side of the field. Here's a quick pass. Flags on the play, though. They stopped the play, so it's going to be a penalty that'll stop the clock. We imagine a false start against LBJ. That is what the call is. It'll move him back 5 yards to the 35. Ten-second runoff because of the penalty, and so down to 32 seconds, just a couple of more snaps here. Perhaps the last one of the ball game here. To the 40-yard line gets A.B. Huerta before he gets pushed back. And LBJ will not have to run another play, unless, of course, they choose to. But that will more than likely be the final play of the ball game. And the clock strikes 0. And the Eagles have their first district win of the season, 48-6 against LBJ. Everything the coaches told us at the prediction show was really in the spotlight today. Starting well, finishing well, letting everybody do their job, and it's some amazing work that the Eagles on offense and on defense did. A 48-6 victory against LBJ. They've got to win 2 more now. They've got to go to South, to Laredo next week, get that win there, and then just to seal that playoff spot, they've got to win here 2 weeks from now on November 2nd against Del Rio. But for the meantime, the Eagles will take this win. Short week. We will be there on Thursday to see them play against the United South Panthers. And the Eagles looking to, on a short week, quickly get healthy and move on to the following game. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. We want to thank our sponsors one more time, and we want to let you know the homecoming results. Promised we'd let you know those. The homecoming Lord and Lady representing cheer, Rito Flores and Lilian Garza. The Count and Countess representing football, Diego Villarreal and Anaí Camarillo. The Duke and Duchess representing baseball, Isar Mauricio and Lorelai Gonzalez. The Prince and Princess representing band, Frank Lopez and Abigail Delgado. And the King and Queen representing basketball, Roberto Martinez and Jillian Herrera. Our congratulations to all the young people and the high school students from Eagle Pass High School who participated this week for homecoming. And our congratulations also to the class of 1978 here for their 45th anniversary visiting in Eagle Pass. I want to thank our sponsors on behalf of Universal Media Connections, Valde Record Service, Nevares Law Firm, Allstate Onésimo Elizondo, Saritas Tortilla Factory, TNT Rentals, IBC Bank, Stat Emergency, R&R Safety Wear LLC, Texas Diamond Garage, Capital Insurance Services, Clarissa Rivera Flores, Tienda de los Venados, Tabanny Insurance, Chapa Law Group, Choches Barbecue, Benavides Insurance, Lorena Melo State Farm, Brown Chevrolet, Vargas Hardware, Ruiz and Associates, Maverick AC Supplies, Rudy's Optical, Yopos, and United Medical Centers. And on behalf of Eagle Pass Sports Central, we want to thank our sponsor, State Representative Eddie Morales, Brown Chevrolet Buick GMC of Eagle Pass, Ancita Ford of Eagle Pass, Church's Barbecue, and IBC Bank. Folks, final score here from Coziel Foster Veterans Memorial Stadium. Eagles 48, Wolves 6. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.